This is a Nat Kidder Blood Orange. Muddle 2 Serrano slices with 1 ounce fresh blood orange juice, 1 ounce fresh lime juice, add a half an ounce of simple syrup, then add 2 ounces of Nat Kidder Vodka, shake it over ice, and double strain it into your rocks glass with a rim of salt, sugar, and tajin equal parts. Garnish with a slice of blood orange. I chose this drink, honestly, for the nice orange and red colors because Calum Worthy has awesome red hair. However, he decides to throw me a curveball when he comes to do the show and shows up with jet black hair. I didn't see that coming. But you have probably seen Calum on TV or in films because he's been in over 70 different projects. Most recently in the Eminem production Bodied, American Vandal on Netflix, the new show from Marvel, New Warriors, and of course, Austin and Ally. Calum just might be the funniest person I know, and I was so excited to hear he was a fan of my show even before I asked him to come by for a cocktail and a chat.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
I'm Riker Lynch, and this is Glass Half Full.
All right, dude.
This is a nice setup, man.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
love
we got
this.
like the outdoor
Yeah.
cocktail bar vibes, you know?
Is this a date?
You know what's funny? When I was putting this set together, I was like, this is kind of a romantic setting.
I'm flattered, to be honest with you. I'm very flattered.
Yes, cheers.
Cheers, man.
Thanks for being here.
Of course, man.
Dude, so we first met on set of Austin and Ally, I think.
Yes, and the first time I knew about you, well, I'd seen you on Glee before then.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, and so I was already a huge fan. But I remember being at the final callback for Austin and Ally.
Oh, really?
And,
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. I took Ross.
Yes,
I drove him.
And I remember you guys talking about like R5. You guys were talking about that stuff, and I was like, this is so cool that you guys like have this band and all that kind of stuff. And so I remember like that was the first time we met. And then during the pilot, we hung out. Like when we weren't filming stuff like that, we'd hang out like after and stuff like that. And then we've known each other for a long time. It's been years.
Yeah, dude, it's been a while, and I'm glad we finally made this happen.
Yeah, this is awesome.
I know you were saying you watched a couple episodes of the show, so.
Well, yeah, I texted you being like, I want to be on this.
Yeah. I'm glad. I've never had anybody do that yet, so
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, I'm so flattered.
I
we
loved
had to
it.
make it happen.
I loved it.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I mean, I went to a ton of Austin Ally live tapings, and I watched a ton of episodes. You are so unbelievably funny.
Oh, well, thanks, man.
Like, for something that is, you know, some people would like kind of maybe frown upon the Disney and Nickelodeon vibes of things. You guys, and the four of you, and especially you, I mean, constant laughter.
Oh, thanks.
And
thanks.
I'm older than you. Well, actually, I don't think I'm older than you, but I'm older than the rest of the guys.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
I'm 28.
Okay, yeah, you were just a little bit older than me.
Yeah.
So like, I'm like an older I'm Ross's older brother, so I'm like looking at this thing. I didn't really watch Disney Channel at the time, but
Yeah.
you guys were so freaking funny, especially you, dude. I cannot tell how many times I was just crying laughing
Well, thank you.
watching that.
I mean, it's funny with that show because, and it seriously means a lot coming from you saying that, by the way. But that whole show, it felt like we were all trying to make something great.
Yeah.
Like it didn't feel like it was like I think sometimes with when people do TV shows, whether it's Disney or CW or Fox or ABC, whatever it is, they kind of get into a rhythm. They're like, all right, we're doing the show. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Until the final episode, we were still working as if like it was the first episode and we were trying to make
you're
it happen.
striving for greatness.
We were, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was because of the cast, it was because of the creators, Kevin and Heath, it was because of LJ.
Yeah.
Our amazing directors, our writers, like everyone wanted to make something great so badly. Our whole crew, like the camera guys, the sound guys, every costume, everyone wanted to make something so great that we all worked really hard. Even the last episode, I remember us still rehearsing in my dressing room and going over it as if we were like fighting for more episodes.
Yeah.
Even though we knew that was it.
Uh-huh.
And it was really special. But I got to start complimenting you for a quick second because I'm just blown away at, I've told you about this before, but how you have managed to have an equally successful career in both film, TV, and in music.
Thank you.
Like, to
well,
me,
it's sort of.
no, you're crushing it. But
Thanks,
I'm
man.
really blown away because I don't know many other examples of people that are equally talented in both areas.
Thank you, man.
To
Thanks
me,
for
that's
saying that.
that's something that blows my mind. And I don't know how you do it. and I'm just all I can say is I'm very, very jealous because I can't dance and sing like you, man.
Hey, well, you can rap though, dude. I mean that Bodied, that was just insane. I mean,
thanks, man.
What was your like prep for that? I mean, what were you constantly? And also, were you doing any freestyles, or was that written?
That was all written.
All written.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've since then had people come up to me wanting to like do a battle, thinking I can freestyle, and I'm like, that took me a month just to learn that.
I can't even imagine how much time you had to put into that because you were so good.
Thank you. It's really because of all the battle rappers that took me under their wing, like Disaster and Albie and Kid Twist and all these guys that took me under their wing and just worked tirelessly with me to make sure I was able to at least pretend to be at a level where I can compete with them. I will never be at their level. These guys are geniuses. But even that process of pretending to do that took like a month just to get to that.
Yeah. I mean, that at that point, you're basically, learning an entirely new skill for a project. And not only that, I feel like the rapping is something like you can't fake with special effects.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So people, somebody does a snowboarding movie or whatever, they can stunt double that, or a sport movie, they can get the football players and all the stunt guys, but you can't fake what you did, and that to me is what was so impressive.
Well, thank you again, man. This guy, you're so nice, man.
I only have people on that I'm really big fans of.
that's cool. That's a really cool part of your show. Yeah. I love that. It was an amazing experience. It was something that I will never forget, and I'm just so grateful for the opportunity because I feel like I wasn't an obvious pick for the role, and the fact that Joseph Kahn took a risk by hiring me, knowing that the people that knew me previously to that would never think of me as playing that character.
That's another thing I loved about it is it was so different than anything you've done, and
that's what I love too. And I honestly am just blown away that Joseph took a risk on me.
Yeah.
Because it was the kind of project I wanted to make for a long time. But it's hard to get those opportunities, and for him to say, "All right, let's go, let's do this," it really meant a lot.
That's so cool. What was your like sort of daily, routine when you're getting ready to do that thing, or did you have a set sort of schedule at all?
I was
like not when you're filming, but just getting ready.
Like in the prep. Well, I was actually filming another project.
Really?
Leading up to it.
Okay.
And so I had a few weeks.
Is this were you doing is this the Netflix show that you were filming?
I did that after.
Oh, okay.
I did that right after. I was doing a show called Lost Generation in Montreal.
Gotcha.
And so I would be Skyping a lot, and there were a few weeks leading up to before I even left for Lost Generation that I did spend working with the battle rappers, and a few weeks once I got back. But while I was away in Montreal, I had a lot of time off because I wasn't in it that much, and I was able to prep and just practice nonstop. And it was basically like, it was kind of like prepping a monologue, but in a very specific way. And I also knew that because we had Eminem as a producer, I didn't want to screw it up. Like I really wanted to make sure that we were able to do the battle rap world justice, because it's an art form that I just respect so much.
Yeah,
and I'm such a huge fan of it. And I was a fan before the movie, and I'm an even bigger fan now. And I wanted to make sure that the people that were battle fans felt like we got it right. Yeah. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself. And really the only reason why I think it worked is because of the real battle rappers making sure we were authentic.
Yeah, because you were like sort of training with those guys a lot.
Yeah, okay. It was like learning how to play basketball and having like LeBron and Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Be like, this is how you shoot a hoop.
do it.
You'll never be as good as them, but they'll show you how to fake it.
Yeah. Oh man, that had to be such a cool experience.
It was so cool.
And the film was great. And,
thanks, man.
Like, I just remember watching that and just being like, oh my God, Calum is just getting it. Like, it was just so cool to see you do that, because you're going from like these really, really hilarious comedy roles. And I remember, oh my gosh, one of my favorite memories when I first met you is, sorry, I'm sort of sideballing here.
No, I love it.
But it was like right in the beginning of, Twitter was sort of hopping off, and Instagram was sort of getting going, and somebody tweeted one of your self-tapes for something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it was raunchy and hilarious. And I saw it, they tagged me in it, or I don't know, it somehow came up on my feed, and I found it, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so great.
Yeah, I made a huge mistake. I didn't. You know how like when you audition for stuff, sometimes you post on like Vimeo or something, and you put a password.
Yeah.
I didn't put a password, and until that point, I never thought like, what's the worst gonna happen? And I didn't realize that like, oh, there were people that were paying attention to what I was doing.
Yeah. Because Austin Alley was going.
It was it was just like starting up, and people were starting to pay attention. And I posted this thing for an audition for a show that I didn't even get.
Right.
But it was really, really raunchy.
Oh, God,
and it was like a
so
super bad kind of movie. I can't remember what movie it was, but I remember it being really raunchy. And suddenly I realized this thing got out, and I was like, I'm gonna get fired. Like Disney's gonna be like,
they're gonna shut it down.
What did you just post?
Yeah.
And I remember you walking into my dressing room because that's how I found out that it was leaked. Is you were like, I just saw the craziest video.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You were saying the craziest things, and I was like, oh no, what?
Oh gosh, it was so funny. Do you have that tape somewhere, or do you have that file?
I think I deleted it.
Okay.
Like I think I got it because I was just so worried about like Disney calling,
yeah.
being like, you're off the show.
Yeah.
Because it was early on in the process.
Yeah, early on, you just don't really know where your barriers are with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just remember seeing that, and obviously on Austin Alley, you were hilarious, but that was so funny, and then here you are doing Bodied, and you were just so raw and so like committed to that rap battle, and I was just incredibly impressed. I've been saying that a ton, so we'll leave it at that.
Well, thank you.
Yes, it was amazing.
It definitely felt like a risk because similar to just doing that self-tape, which I didn't think anyone would see except for the producers, but doing Bodied, I was like, this could go one of two ways, because it was so raw, and there was a lot of dialogue and scenes that were very controversial.
Yeah.
In theory, it all discusses topics in a very intellectual way, and in a very academic way. But I think if you were just to hear like one sentence that I say, you might be like, oh, this could be a little offensive.
Yeah.
And I was worried like this could alienate a huge part of my audience. And going into it, I just knew that Joseph Kahn was so talented, and the writing was so amazing, and I loved battle rap, so there was no question I wanted to do it. But it did make me pause and think, oh, is this gonna hurt me?
Gonna backfire,
because of the audience I come from. And do you know what I found out, man, is that I have like the coolest fans in the world.
Yeah.
They're so smart, and they love cool projects. Like they saw me in Austin Alley, and then I keep getting messages about other stuff I've done that's a bit more adult.
Yeah.
And they respond to it, and I just thought, wow, I always knew I had cool fans. Same with yours too, because I feel like you've done the same thing. You've done more mature stuff, and these fans that we have, man, are so cool.
Yeah, we're very, very fortunate to have this sort of, especially in this day and age of social media when so many people can interact.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I don't really see any haters, if you want to call them. So,
right.
Yeah. It's very.
And it's nothing but respect. Like they get the process. They're like, oh, you're an actor, you're playing a character, and you want to expand. So you're doing that. They get that, and I thought, wow, these guys are really cool.
Can you clarify something in Bodied for me? So is the story, is that a truth or sort of true story at all to Eminem? When
No.
He was, okay.
No.
Because at the end, when you're like, my name is, I was like, and then the song plays for the credits. I was like, oh wait, does that have anything to do? That's just a play on words, really?
Just a play on words, and we thought it'd be really fun.
It was great.
And there's definitely some. You could definitely draw some parallels between the two. But it was kind of like they started as opposites because this character comes from such a privileged background, and it's almost like he has to lose it all to be able to get what he wants. And Eminem came from such a tough place to try to get what he needs and what he wants. So kind of like they come from different places, but then still try to get the same goal.
Yeah.
So there's a parallel there. But it was just a fictional story that they thought was really interesting and was a way to talk about freedom of speech and discuss cultural appropriation and these big themes in a really fun comedic way. Because at the end of the day, it is a comedy. Yeah. But I think we kind of discussed some interesting topics.
It was great, man. Again, super, super impressed.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
What I'm curious, if you go out to a bar with your buddies, what's your go-to drink?
I love tequila. I really, really like tequila.
Nice.
Tequila.
Tequila. Me too. Big tequila fan. I wanted to change it up today.
No, I love vodka too. Vodka is my other go-to. Tequila, the reason is I like the taste, but I like tequila and vodkas equally. Tequila, I find if you're staying up late, it keeps you going.
Yeah, it does. It's the only sort of upper, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. I find that sometimes if you drink beer or something like that, after a little while, you can get kind of tired.
Get a little
I get a little sleepy and want to take a cat nap.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually in bed by like 9 p.m. on weekdays.
Nice,
So then
yeah.
to change it up, if I'm like going out with friends, something gets to midnight, and I'm like, my bedtime was 3 hours ago.
That's
man.
what I'm saying, dude. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm like a solid 10:30.
Yeah, I'm the
kinda
same.
guy.
I'm the same.
And any reasoning behind that, or is it just how you feel good?
It's how I feel good. I like getting up early. I love mornings. I'm definitely a morning person. So I just feel like getting up early and kind of hitting the day running, having an early start is a good way to start.
How
the day.
early do you wake up?
I love waking up as the sun comes up.
Nice.
I don't do that enough because usually I see the sun and I'm like, I'm gonna wait about an hour.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm the same. When you have a call time or whatever, and you end up doing that, waking up with the sun perfectly, love that. But for the most part, I'm about the same. But I definitely enjoy a solid, morning coffee, super chill, listen to the birds, the sun. It's just coming out,
Exactly.
It's very, very
exactly.
nice.
And you go in phases too. Sometimes you wake up really earlier for a few weeks and you see someone post saying like, I've been getting up at like 4 a.m. every day. And it's like, that's great, but you're going to end up getting up at 8 in about 2 weeks.
Yeah,
you can
totally.
you can't sustain that forever.
You definitely can't.
Unless you're Tom Cruise. I feel like Tom Cruise can do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can do anything.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I'm a big Tom Cruise fan.
I am too.
Yes.
He's awesome. Yeah.
He's just somebody that's just so incredibly dedicated and so hardworking. Like you hear every once in a while, people like if they're reading tabloids or whatever. But my cousin Julianne did Rock of Ages with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
And she had nothing but amazing things to say about him.
That's great.
He was the nicest guy on the entire production. He was so hardworking, making sure everybody's good. So that's like a direct link, working with somebody. Whereas like all of these people that think they know somebody just based off what they read or what they see in the films, and they're like, you really don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you've had this experience, but I feel like most people in this business are really, really nice. Mm-hmm. Like the people that seem to have longevity and stay in it for a long time, they're really nice.
Yeah.
And because at the end of the day, you want to work with people that you get along with,
Mm-hmm.
because the days are so long and you're in the trenches for so many weeks at a time that you want to be with people that you can get along with and feel vulnerable around. Because if you're doing like an emotional scene, or if you have to have even comedically, like I feel like there's a lot of vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
when you're when you're doing humor as well, because sometimes it doesn't work, and you know if it works or not. Because if it works, you get an immediate reaction, someone laughs, and you can sense that, and you can kind of feel the rhythm. And if it doesn't work, you got to find it. And that struggle to find it is kind of emotional,
Mm-hmm.
and it can you can feel very vulnerable in that process. So to have people that have your back is huge. So I feel like most of the time, like 99% of the time, everyone I work with is great.
Yeah.
People always ask, they're like, hey, is this guy
Is
he a
this guy
jerk?
an asshole?
Yeah, exactly. And they and I'm 9 out of 10 times, actually more than that, I'm saying no, they're great people.
Mm-hmm.
And they genuinely are.
I think especially, for these mega huge superstar actors, they can't be that horrible to get to where they are. You know what I mean? They have to have some sort of like pleasure to work around, otherwise they wouldn't be doing so many huge things.
Exactly.
At some point it's going to be like, listen, I can't stand this guy because he's a jerk or whatever. So
yeah, I agree.
I gotta ask, new hair color.
The new hair color. So this was for a show called The Act that
Okay.
I did with Patricia Arquette and Joey King and Chloe Sevigny and Anna Sophia Robb.
Is this out yet? Did I miss this or?
No, it comes out March 20th.
Okay.
It's a Hulu show. It's a limited series, and it's a true story about Gypsy and Dee Dee, where Dee Dee is a mom that had Munchausen by proxy, and her daughter Gypsy was forced to act like she was sick, and her mom Dee Dee wanted her to be sick all the time, and it's a really incredible project, and I'm really proud to be a part of it. We finished filming about 3 weeks ago, in Savannah, Georgia. I was there for a few months.
Oh, cool.
I had a blast. It was the most challenging role I've ever been a part of, next to Bodied.
Really?
So those are the two.
Okay.
And it was, I think people are really gonna like it.
Awesome. When did you say that comes out?
March 20th.
Oh, okay. So by the time this airs, it'll be out. So everybody should check.
So you should check it out right now.
Absolutely. You're doing some sort of superhero thing, right?
Okay, so I was.
Oh, interesting.
It ended up. It was one of those things where I still want to do it. I'd still love to do it. I guess I'm still crossing fingers it can work out. It's play Speedball in New Warriors.
Okay.
And it's an amazing project. The cast is unbelievable. The people that wrote it are geniuses, and Marvel is like a pleasure to work with.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. Right now we're still in limbo. We'll see what happens. I'm still keeping my fingers crossed because I do think this project is so special. And who doesn't want to be a superhero?
Yeah,
So
right.
cool.
Well, you actually have already sort of been somewhat of a superhero.
That's true.
Smallville,
which
Yeah.
was so fun.
We had Michael Rosenbaum on the show.
No way.
As well, yeah.
That's awesome. So as a kid, because I grew up in Vancouver, and Smallville was one of the shows that was filmed in Vancouver.
Right.
And so I used to audition for the young Lex Luthor all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the deal was, because I had longer hair then, they're like, because I kind of look like him, or at least when I was a kid, I kind of looked like him.
Yeah, I can kind of see it actually.
So there's a few times I got really close to playing the young Lex Luthor, but they're always like, you got to shave your head. And at the time, it felt like, oh, if I shave my head now, I'm not going to work for so many months. And it was only for like 2 scenes or something.
Right. Yeah. It's something real. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to always be so bummed because I felt like that was the only way I'd get on Smallville. And I loved that show. I was such a huge fan. And so when I was like 12, 13, 14, I was like, I just want to play something in this. And it always was the young Lex Luthor. And I was like, I don't want to shave my head for that, because I'd shave my head for a project that was going to film for a longer period of time.
Yeah, if it was a series, if you were going to be a regular on every episode.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it for like one day and then
Yeah.
not work for 6 months. Potentially. I guess there's other roles you could get, but you never know. So when I got the role of Lightning Lad, it was the coolest thing. I was freaking out.
I bet, man.
It was awesome.
That's so awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember doing research before I had Michael Rosenbaum on the show.
Yeah.
And watching an episode, and I was like, that's Caleb.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Because when I was growing up watching it, I didn't make it to, like, the last, I don't know, 4 seasons maybe.
Yeah. I was in one of the last
sort
ones.
of. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I kind of caught up and watched the sort of how it ended.
It was,
And I was like, yeah, oh my God, that's Caleb.
it was such a cool show. Because I
Yeah.
feel like now we have a lot of cool superhero shows, which is amazing that we have that now. At
Yeah, there's a ton.
the time then, it was like 2009, 2010. There weren't that many. There were a handful, but
What else besides Smallville?
was there any other ones?
I guess Supernatural.
Supernatural, I guess. Yeah, I guess that is.
Sort of.
Was there any other comic book shows? That's a really good question. Maybe there wasn't.
I think that was literally.
It's the only one I watched.
Literally it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I watched that and Alias. She was a secret agent.
Oh,
but
yeah.
She wasn't a superhero.
Right.
I mean, it's close.
Right.
But same kind of save the world.
There's comments on this video, right?
Yes.
There's gonna be so many comments of being like,
Yeah. No, there was this.
are you
one,
kidding me?
and
There's this one, this
and
one, this one, this one. And honestly,
Yeah.
whoever writes that comment, I respect you. That's amazing.
Yeah, because
You know more than me.
They know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So growing up in Vancouver, man, what did you play hockey at all? Are you a hockey fan?
No, I'm the worst hockey player in the world. I love hockey. I'm a huge fan.
Okay.
I cannot play at all. And you guys living in LA kick ass and play hockey all the time.
That's from growing up in Denver.
That's right. Of course. Yeah, but it's amazing you guys can though. I just can't. I don't have any coordination.
That's interesting because almost everybody from Canada that I meet is like, yeah, I played hockey all growing up.
No, I tap danced. But
Tap
that was the
dancing.
closest I got to skates.
Honestly, of all the actor friends I have, you probably have more acting credits being from Canada than all of them who grew up playing hockey. So you're doing something good.
Well, I think that was a concern because I think when I was younger too, you always worry about getting hurt.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like when you're young, you just do so many risky things, and just because I was auditioning so much, I was always worried that I wouldn't get something if I
Yeah.
like broke my leg or something.
How did you get into acting and everything? What was the start for you?
Well, my mom has this incredible theater production called Pace, and it has like hundreds of students in it. It's an incredible program, and she's been running it for years, decades. I grew up doing that, so it's basically when I was like first born, I would be on stage in these shows.
Oh, gotcha. You sort of born into it, kind of.
I was born into
Okay,
it, yeah.
cool.
And my mom didn't encourage me to do it professionally, but she thought it'd be a great experience for me to be on stage and
Yeah.
to learn as a kid how to have confidence on stage and stuff like that. So that'd be
Yes,
fun skills.
great.
But she really wanted me to be like a brain surgeon or something. And she's still disappointed I'm not a brain surgeon, by the way. She's probably watching this being like, yep, still
Yep,
disappointed.
he knows.
Yep.
That's my boy.
I mean, she's super supportive. So she's like the most supportive mom next to your mom.
Yeah,
who's
we're
amazing.
definitely we're both very fortunate to have.
Yeah, we have parents who
mom,
just like
yes.
support us like crazy, which is such a blessing because a lot
It
of
is
people
such
don't.
a blessing, and yeah, definitely. That's one thing I always make sure I don't take for granted. I really let them know how much I appreciate it because it's just I've seen kids and it's just hard.
Yeah.
So hard.
It's so hard. It really is, and it's a really hard business. And yeah, I think we were very lucky to have parents
Yes.
that support us.
Yeah,
It was
very
awesome. But I think if she had her pick, she'd want me to be like an actor slash brain surgeon.
brain
Yeah.
surgeon.
So she helped me get on stage and introduced me to that world. And through some of the people that were working there, like some of the choreographers, like Jennifer Saunders and a few other people, they knew of some extra work that was being done in Victoria because they had some connections to the film industry. And they said, hey, why don't you go and have an audition? Because they were like auditioning kids for some of the background roles because there weren't that many projects filmed in Victoria.
Right.
But because there was tax credits, suddenly a bunch of shows started coming in there.
Yeah.
And there was a movie called The Duke that filmed in Victoria. It was like
Okay.
this Disney movie about a dog who inherits like $1 billion.
Okay.
And I went to like an audition or like where they kind of like see you to see if you'd be okay on set.
Right.
And they said, sure, come on, do it. And while I was on set, I fell in love with it. But they had me running around in the background, and I
Yeah.
still remember it distinctly. I was like 7, 8 years old.
Oh, really?
And I still
Okay.
have vivid memories of what it was like being on set and feeling like I walked into Disneyland for the first time.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I walked on set and just felt like this is the home I want to have. And I still feel that way. Like the feeling hasn't changed in I guess 21 years.
That's awesome.
And I didn't start booking. I started auditioning and taking classes until I was 9, 10. It was about 2 or 3 years of just solid trying.
Yeah.
And going through the process of learning how to act until I actually booked my first role, which was
Way to stick with it, man. Because that's that.
that comes down to the
That's
parents.
hard. Oh,
My
good,
parents
yeah.
were so awesome about saying, let's keep going and encouraging me.
Yeah.
I don't think they were thinking, oh, this is going to be his career, but I think they thought it was cool I had a goal.
Yeah.
And they thought, oh, this is a good experience, and they thought it was just kind of a neat opportunity. And then I started booking things, and I
What was the first job you booked?
The first job I
Besides
booked-
from the Duke.
so the first job I booked where I had like a role was this show called Night Visions that Bill Pullman directed the episode of. It was like an anthology, so every every episode was a different story.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
And
Black Mirror.
It was like Black Mirror, yeah. And he was the director of it, and I played a cannibal who ate him at the end of it. It was
Oh
crazy.
my gosh.
Yeah.
How old are you?
I was 9.
You ate a guy.
Yeah. And so then I did that, and he really gave me one of the biggest opportunities of my life, because it's like until you book that first one, it feels like what if I don't get it?
Yeah.
And it's hard. I mean, of course I say this as a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
There's people that are much older doing it that it's harder when you at any age. It's still hard, but even as a 9-year-old, I was like, oh, what if I don't get something? He gave me this opportunity to do this episode, and I ate him, and at the time of my life, and he
Yeah,
was
I
so
bet.
kind to me.
That's awesome.
And it was kind of neat because at the when Bodied premiered at TIFF, I was at one of the industry parties that they have, and he was there.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so I walked over to him and I was like, "You don't remember me. There's no way you will, but you cast me in Night Visions, and I ate you, and that was the first project I ever did, and I've been acting ever since."
Yeah.
And he was like, "No way, you were that like prairie kid." I was like, "That was me," and it was amazing.
I love that. Oh, that's
It was
great.
so cool. And yeah, it was just amazing to see him. I never thought I'd get a chance to like thank him for that.
Yeah.
But I was able to, and it was awesome.
That's
It was really cool.
Really, really cool, man.
It was very cool.
Good for you. I love that you guys got to like sort of reconnect and celebrate that moment of you.
It was really
Especially
nice.
for something as big as Bodied, at the time.
Yeah.
That had to be really, really cool.
It felt amazing. It really did. Yeah.
I'm curious. I want to jump back because we talked about you like to wake up early and you're normally
Yeah.
in bed by like 9:30, 10:30.
Yeah.
Do you have any like daily rituals that you do?
I love exercising
Okay.
because I feel like as an actor, and I also write as well. I feel like
That's right.
we're
You've
both-
you've written and sort of put together a couple things, right?
Yeah. And so that's what I do whenever I'm not acting. I'm writing and producing projects
Right
and
on.
developing shows, and it's for me, that's my outlet whenever I'm not acting. Like I feel like that's the way I
Right.
stay creative and stay on my game, and I love it equally. I love both.
That's cool. Oh, I can see you doing writing and starring in something really, really awesome one day.
I would love that. I
Seth
would love
Rogen
that.
style.
Yeah, I think
You
it's so
know?
cool to make projects where it feels like you have some ownership over it.
Yeah.
I still love the collaboration, so I'd never,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'd never want to just be like, it's just me doing it. I want the team effort, but it is really cool to be able to feel like, oh, I had an idea at one point, and then I actually saw it on TV. I remember that first time it happened.
Oh hey.
Hello. Oh, okay. You are so cute.
What are you doing,
so
Vanilla?
adorable.
What are you doing?
You came
You
out
want
of
to come be
nowhere.
in the camera?
Cutie patootie.
Oh, that's definitely making it.
Yeah,
in.
that's great. That's great. But so in terms of my daily ritual, I love to exercise because especially when you're writing too.
Yeah.
Since you're sitting down so much, to be able to get your brain
yeah,
going,
yeah.
I love to feel like the blood's rushing and going, and
You got to get yourself a standing desk.
I gotta get a standing desk.
You'll love it.
Do you have one?
Yep. I have. Mine raises, but I don't even lower it. I just leave it up.
Really?
And
I bet.
Especially like I'm not nearly as much into writing as you are, but I've written a little bit, and I wrote
We made a short film
last year.
Yeah.
But doing all that, like standing for whatever reason, helps.
Yes.
It just feels good, and even if you sit down and you're kind of thinking about stuff, and then you get up and you write it,
Yeah.
it just felt really good.
It feels great. It does feel great.
Mm-hmm.
It actually started with Austin and Alley because Austin and Alley, there was so much physical comedy that I had to
Yeah.
do that I couldn't feel like I was just waking up and suddenly arriving at work.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I'd wake up and I'd work out for half an hour, then go to set.
Is that like your first thing you do when you wake up then normally?
Yeah.
Workout?
Yeah, I love to just because.
Do you do you eat before, or do you do it in a fasted state?
I usually have like a banana.
Okay.
Then go to the gym and then work out for a little bit. Not trying to like get like all buff or something.
Ripped, yeah.
Because I feel like that's not gonna.
Well, when that Marvel superhero show,
Hey,
you might
there you
have
go.
to.
There you go. That'd be awesome. So we'll see. I mean, maybe at some point I could do that for a while. That'd be pretty
Yeah.
awesome. But I feel like right now I'm usually like the nerd in most stuff. So I feel like I have to kind of stick to that like
Right.
dorky
Yeah.
physique. But I do like just the energy that you get from working out.
Yes.
And I feel like that helps. And with Austin Alley, it was my saving grace because it felt like I'd get there at like 9:30 in the morning, and immediately I'd have to figure out some kind of like big gag for the cold open.
Yeah.
And I'd be like falling on my face or doing something wild. And I was like, if I don't feel like I worked out, I felt like I couldn't do it.
That's interesting. That's really cool, actually, that you sort of placed that and figured out how to make your whole setup, especially being with the physical comedy.
Yeah.
It's really cool that you figured out how to make that as good as you possibly can with just simply working out.
Yeah, I felt like it helped. Like even just stretching so that like if I did like a gag, I could really just like put my whole body into it. That was huge.
Any other rituals that you do?
I write down a list of things I'm grateful for.
Oh, nice. Do you do a little gratitude journaling? That's
I do.
really good.
I do. Yeah, I put 10 things down a day.
10, nice. Wow. Most people
Yeah.
only do like 3. That's good.
Well, that's one thing I'm grateful for is that I finished 10.
Yeah.
That's always number 10.
Oh, nice.
Is that I got it. I got it done.
You got it done, yeah.
But yeah, I find that really helps because I think that if you're coming from a place of gratitude, that's
Yes.
huge and that's everything. I do believe that the energy that you're feeling and the way that you're feeling and the energy that you're putting out does come back to you. And I think to
Definitely.
come from a positive place is huge.
Same. I totally agree with that.
Yeah. I think it's important.
That's cool. I'm just always curious in people's rituals and sort of daily routines, just because it's sort of what makes people tick and shows kind of like what their really core beliefs are.
Yeah.
Even if it's just simple like working out or like sharing a little bit with their health and fitness things that they do in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm always just curious what everybody does. I'm fascinated by
Well,
that
the-
stuff for some reason.
Well, the list of things I'm grateful for really, it really does make a difference because I feel
Yeah.
like some days you can get frustrated because you're in traffic
yeah,
or
you can
little
get,
things can bug
You
you.
can really get kind of stuck in your own head a little bit.
Yeah, but if you can start the day by saying I'm grateful for these 10 things, then not a lot can rock you.
Yeah.
Because you have 10 things that you're really grateful for, and if someone cuts you off or something, it's like, well, okay, I have 10 great things. And even if there's some days where you get bad news. Like some days are really tough, and you go
Yeah.
through really tough things in life, whether it's like people getting sick or death or breakups or whatever it is. Life can be really hard, but if there's something to be grateful for, even simple things,
Yep.
then I feel like you're in a good place to deal with those things.
Yeah, I totally agree. I was at the Beverly Hilton. I go there for upgrade labs. Actually, I should
I would
take you.
love to,
It's really cool. We'll go.
because I'm a huge Bulletproof fan.
Oh, that's right. We've talked about a little bit about
Yeah,
Bulletproof.
yeah, I'm a huge
Okay,
fan.
I'm definitely gonna take you.
Yeah.
We'll go do that sometime soon.
That'd be awesome.
Hopefully before I go on tour.
Yeah.
But I was there, and normally parking's pretty simple, but for whatever reason today there's like 3 huge events, and the self parking is closed, or it's full, which is where I normally park. So I have to park in the valet.
Yeah.
So the valet for them to get my car, or to come take my car, in the beginning, takes like 25 minutes. So I'm
Cool.
like sitting in my car waiting for somebody to come take it.
You for 25 minutes.
For
you
25
waited.
minutes,
Oh, wow.
I'm just sitting in the car, and so I'm like, all right, let's, they got a bunch of huge events here. There's like tons of cars, tons of people.
Yeah.
I'm just chilling, and then, when I finish my workout and finish my health regimen, coming back to get my car, like going in, handing them the ticket, I'm standing in line for 45 minutes, and the whole time. I'm like trying to get out of there before traffic starts, you know,
Yeah.
where it's in Beverly Hills and I live up in the valley.
Yep.
And the whole time I'm just like going through because I do my gratitude at night.
Oh, that's
And
smart. Yeah.
So I just like falling asleep with that. But that's exactly.
I'm gonna start trying that.
That's the whole time. I don't write it down. My fiance and I tell each other,
Oh, that's beautiful.
which is nice because it's kind of out in the universe. Like that's what we
Yeah,
like to do.
and to share that with someone, that's so sweet. I
Yeah, it
love
feels
that.
good because both of us are like, there's, and then one person will say something, she'll say something, and it'll make me think of something else. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's great. We love it.
Yeah.
But anyways, literally sitting there for 45 minutes, and like I'm really anxious to get out of there because I know traffic is just coming in hot from Beverly
Yeah.
Hills, and the whole time I was just like, man, I had such a delicious cup of coffee this morning.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
Just remembering like those little things, and it totally helped. It totally helped because
Totally.
there were people around me just losing their minds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then late that night, I was grateful that I remained cool in that moment.
Yeah, it's like I completely agree. And
know?
sometimes you have moments that are a little
Yeah,
tough.
everybody has moments.
But I think if you can try your hardest to try to stay cool and stay calm, because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, for the most part, life is pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Life is pretty awesome. Even if things seem really tough, there's always something to think. I'm grateful for. I have food.
Yes.
Like even something as simple as that. So many people don't have that. The fact that we can get an education.
Exactly.
There's
yes.
so many people out there that
So
aren't
many
able to go to
things.
school. Stuff like that I find just reminds me that life is awesome.
That's great, dude. Life is awesome.
It is.
And I'm so glad that that more people are knowing and talking about that stuff, because I think it's important to sort of share that
Yeah.
headspace and to encourage others to do it. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
No,
And,
thanks, man.
Dude, thank you so much for being here.
This was awesome. This was crazy. I forgot there were cameras so often. I just felt
Yeah,
like we were having a
actually,
conversation.
this is one of my favorites because I definitely forgot about that too. But
Yeah.
that time flies when you're having fun.
It's true.
And,
It's true.
Love talking with you, dude.
It was great
This
talking
was-
with you too, man.
This was
and this cocktail's really. I forgot to
so
drink
great.
it most of the time.
I
because
know.
I was so engaged
It
in the
was
conversation.
great conversations. That definitely happens.
Yeah.
Every once in a
Yeah,
while.
I bet.
So,
I bet.
no worries. Take your time. But seriously, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're working like crazy.
This was something I was really looking forward to for a while, and we've been texting about it for a little bit.
Yes, we have. We made it happen.
We did.
And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Well, thank you, man.
Cheers.
Cheers.